Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to auscastnetwork.com for details.
In a world where everyone says hello,
they dare to say,
g'day.
Yeah, g'day.
Yeah, g'day!
Yeah, g'day. Yes. Good day. Yeah.
G'day.
G'day. Yeah. G'day. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good day.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Good day.
G'day. Hey. Yeah. G'day. Yeah. G'day, Tim.
Yeah, g'day, Leon.
Yeah. G'day, everyone.
Yeah, g'day, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks
to
for
Yeah,
being
G'day.
here. Yeah, coming in and saying g'day.
I feel like a lot of the time I direct my seamless introductions and segues to you, but I just want to talk to the listener for a second and just...
Yeah, all right. I'll block my ears. You
I
have a
just
chat.
want to...
Yeah.
Well, you can talk to them too. I just want to find out, I just want to just check that they're feeling, you're feeling okay, you're feeling good.
Feeling well in yourself?
Feeling well in yourself.
Mm.
You've made the right choice listening to us, before anything else this week, saving yourself in chastity each week before Yoga Day comes out.
Yeah.
I want you to appreciate that we don't give a shit about you.
It's true. We don't. We don't know who you are.
I don't know any of you by name.
We care
But
a lot.
thanks for putting this in your ear holes and whatever hole you've also found a place for your headphones. Tim.
Gross.
What?
Yep.
Gross.
Mm.
You're gross. Tim, I was thinking the other day, and some might say an hour ago, some might say days ago. It depends on timelines and what is time.
Time is fluid.
Just like
Like
urine.
like a glass of water.
Or urine.
Yeah.
Or a glass of urine that I keep next to my bed.
A glass of urine after you've drunk a glass of water.
Keep a glass of urine next to my bed in case I get thirsty in the night and Bear Grylls comes in.
Right.
And I was thinking about insults and what those words really mean.
Yeah, okay.
And one of the words that came up is one that was used a lot, I think, in my primary school years. I think Mum was a fan of using it. But it wasn't until later in life that I realised that it was an actual Australian animal.
Oh, okay. And what's that one?
The word that used to be used was numbat.
Oh, you bloody numbat.
You're a numbat.
Yeah, I am a numbat if I'm a marsupial native to Western Australia and just being reintroduced into South Australia. That's correct.
Yeah. Well, that's what Mum was calling it for. A numbat, so Numbat.
And let me tell you, it is neither num nor a bat.
No, but here's the thing about the numbat. It can't be num and a bat at the same time. Well, it can be num, but it's not num with a B because you got to use the B for bat. So it's either a num-at, or it's a num, but like NUM is in like short for number, bat. So just putting that out there, it's pretty important to the story.
Incredibly not interesting wordplay for you.
Tell me, Tim, about your numbat.
About my numbat? How about we just talk about the animal?
See it. He's wearing shorts.
Yeah. I don't want to go for an R rating. The numbat. You want to know about the numbat?
Yes.
Well, like I said, it is a marsupial native to Western Australia. Most of the Australian animals we've talked about so far, I think, have largely been of the east. Like, some of them have been Australia-wide, but a lot of, like...
Tassie Devil.
Yeah, in the east or, like, the southeast.
Tassie Devil, the koala.
Koala's largely an eastern
thing.
The
wombat.
Wombats are largely eastern.
The platypus.
Platypus, also largely eastern.
Cassowary, that's northern.
Northeastern.
Where's the east part of it?
It's in the northeast. It's not on the western coast in the north.
We've talked about my lack of geography skills. Yeah, I think you're right. There've also been a lot of marsupials.
Yeah, so this is our first foray over to the west.
Yeah,
because this is one that we kind of had to think about a little bit to even come up with the idea, because all these other ones, like I said, because they're more eastern in their geographical location, stuff that we think about all the time. Numbat's not one we come across a lot, so let's learn.
Tell me, because I genuinely don't know anything about the numbat.
Yeah. All right. Numbat genus Myrmecobius.
Take a run at it.
Is the sole member of the family Myrmecobidae.
S-O-U-L? Like
all I need
the
to
soul
tell you,
member?
taking all of these crazy scientific Latin words out of the equation, is that they're actually potentially closely related to the thylacine, better known as the Tasmanian tiger, which we haven't covered yet, but we will in the future.
Yes.
They're actually kind of closely related to
They're
them.
meant to be in that gene pool.
Yes, and also quolls, which is another one we haven't covered, but will
quolls.
eventually. Yeah, I already said that, didn't I?
I don't know, because I can't read
whiz.
what's on your screen.
So they're small, colourful creature. But they're usually between about 35 to 45 centimetres long. That's 14 to 18 inches long. Those of the American variety. And that includes its tail. It's got a finely pointed muzzle, prominent bushy tail, and the tail is usually about the same length as its body. The more I look at the pictures of them, the more I think it's just a kind of weird-looking squirrel.
Well, yeah. Weird-looking... Aren't they also known as the banded anteater?
Yeah, so other more common names, banded anteater, marsupial anteater, or Walperti, which I think maybe is an indigenous word for them. It hasn't outlined that specifically, but I think that might be.
They look like a mixture of an anteater, a squirrel, and a Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah, because it's got the Tasmanian tiger stripes on its back.
Yeah.
So their color varies a bit from soft grey to reddish brown, another thing, just like a squirrel.
Yes.
With an area of red, a brick red on the upper back, and always with a conspicuous black stripe running from the tip of the muzzle through the eyes to the base of the small round tipped ears. So it's got a little something
Tim's
going
pointing
on
at
its
his
face.
head for this
Yeah.
audio medium that
You
we're
know,
working in.
It looks like this.
Yeah, you can
You guys
hear
get it? You guys get it? You don't need to know about all of it. Its underside is cream or light grey. It's
Hey,
important to know that.
When...
Because if you see one with a blue underside, you're going to say, well, that's not a numbat.
No, that's just a straight
Yeah.
up numb. When, cream's been around for a long time, so that colour also makes sense. But brick red,
Brick red.
originally, we would have just been calling these numbats red or dirt red.
When the first brick red bricks were made, did they call them numbat red?
Oh, I got this house. I just made it. The facade is numbat red.
Yeah, numbat red. I wonder.
Can I get a numbat red benchtop, please?
Yeah. Weight
Exposed
varies
numbat.
between 280 and 700 grams. That's 9.9 to 24.7 ounces for people who still use that for God knows what
900
reason.
grams is a weighty numbat.
The difference between 280 and 700 grams is a lot.
Fairly significant.
Yeah, it's
just
that's a big
there's
difference.
a couple of these big fucking numbats just.
So they are marsupials,
Yes.
but they're diurnal because we've talked about a lot of marsupials largely are up in the nighttime, wombats and whatnot,
Strangers in the night.
doing their thing. It's largely to do with because they have a very specific diet. So they pretty much eat exclusively termites. Sometimes they eat ants, but the ants that they've found in their poo-poo are usually ants that eat termites. So they think they've just eaten the ants by accident.
Oh, it's like a turducken, but like a
Yeah.
They
They just get a little bit of spicy ant in there, termite every now and then. So most they basically stick around ecosystems with a large termite population.
Lots of termites in Western Australia?
I don't know.
Is that where the big termite
Can't say I've
mounds
really
are?
done a lot of research into it.
No. We have those huge termite mounds throughout Australia.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a termite mound? Those things are hectic.
No, only in Attenborough documentaries, and he talks about it being one of his favourite things because termite mounds are like bonkers, the cooling systems that these animals create.
Yeah. And they are they're essentially concrete, which actually leads me to my next point. These little fellas are very small and they do have claws for digging, but they're not very strong, so they actually can't get the termite from the termite mounds themselves.
Okay.
What they do, so the termites have the mound, and then they'll build like these little galleries, these little under tunnels, I guess, to their food source.
Yeah.
So they have a really good sense of smell, so the numbat will sniff them out, and then they'll just attack them in these
Little things.
So they have to attack them during the day, which is why they're awake at day, because that's when the termites are actively bringing food back to the nest. So they attack these little feeding tube things where they take the food back, and that's where they get their food from.
Well, I feel like termites should have learned through evolution by now to just find another way.
You'd think so, but they have not.
Can you imagine if your body clock was adjusted to the food you ate? Like, because essentially what we're saying is that numbats are asleep, and they're like,
Yeah.
the termites are awake.
They're awake. Imagine, there's an apple downstairs.
Oh my God, there's
my food body clock is eat, sleep. That's how the body clock
eat,
works.
sleep, and then wake up when Macca's breakfast is on. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Macca's breakfast is on 24 hours now. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Right, so termites.
So, like other ant-eating animals, has an unusually long, narrow tongue. Usually has pretty sticky saliva on there as well.
Oh, you've
produced
got to.
by large submandibular glands.
Ooh, submandibular. That's nice.
Submandibular. How good is that?
Submandibular sounds like a comic book hero.
And then it talks about their mouths for a bit. We don't need to know too much about their mouths.
They have them, is all you need to know.
Yeah, exactly.
They have mouths, which is nice.
I think they get a lot of their water from the termites as well, which is pretty weird.
Termites are juicy.
Yeah. So that's good. Like I said, across southern Australia, for Western Australia, apparently as far northwestern as New South Wales, some of them, but it seems like largely Western Australia. They are actually also endangered. I didn't mention that before.
They are, haven't they? And they've only just recently been reintroduced to South Australia.
Yeah, they're being reintroduced kind of as we speak right now.
Currently, now. It's night time. They've caught them when they're sleeping.
Yeah.
The termites have gone to bed.
So an adult numbat, although they're little, you need to remember termites are littler.
They are. Ants are also but bigger than termites, but littler than numbats.
Yeah, except in that movie Ants, the termites are bigger.
That
Did you see
doesn't
that
make any
movie?
sense. Yeah, I've saw that movie. We've talked about it before. You're an idiot because you think Ants is better than A Bug's Life.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously a copy. Bug's Life, I mean.
No, of Bug's Life. Or Ants is... Anyway.
We don't need to have
This
this
is not time
conversation.
for that argument.
Anyway, they need 20,000 termites a day, approximately.
Oh, well, if you times that by the gallon and how much petrol is at the moment, that's that's a costly meal.
You need 1 litre for every 5 kilometres for every day.
$2
Plus,
$2 a gram
It's
of
hard.
termites. Can you imagine being like a termite dealer in the Numbat world? How many grams of termites?
Yeah. 20,000 is a lot.
I've got these super termites.
My question is, how the fuck do scientists work out such a specific number?
Count them. You just count them.
How?
In their poop.
Oh. Yeah, I guess.
You cut them open when you dissect them.
Yeah, maybe.
Cut open the termites.
They do have predators of their own.
Termites. The bigger termites.
Yeah. 20,000 termites can take one of these bad boys out for sure.
That's the reason they have to eat 20,000 termites is because 20,000 termites can kill a numbat. So they have to keep the numbers low.
Yeah, for sure. Carpet pythons,
Yes.
which I believe...
Don't
if
eat
not-
carpet.
No, they do not eat carpet, and they're not made of carpet either.
That's like that bear snake you and I came out one time. I didn't know it's python made out of carpet.
Yeah, carpet python is like a pretty common, just a bush python
Classic.
in Australia. For those who don't know, introduced red foxes, which have been a pretty big issue for wild animals in general, which probably has a large part to do with why they're endangered. To be honest, because they do look like squirrels, so I bet the foxes go nuts over them.
Yeah.
Also, falcons, hawks, and eagles, which while not introduced, Australia does have its own species of all of those things. So
yeah, we've got the cool ones.
Yeah.
Right. I guess. Yeah. Well, it takes 20,000 eagles to pick up a numbat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. An eagle eats 20,000 numbats a day.
A day.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Interesting.
Adult numbats, solitary animals, and very territorial.
Well, you've got to be.
Yeah. So
It's a numbat eat numbat termite world.
yeah, an individual, male or female, has a territory of up to about 1.5 square kilometres. That's about 370 acres, which is enormous for a tiny, tiny creature.
Wait, sorry, how much?
1.5 square kilometres. That's 1.5
Square.
by 1.5.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They're like...
Whenever I read
30
these,
centimeters.
every animal I ever read about where they lay out like its habitat, like measurements, I'm always like, how is there enough room for this creature to exist with,
Well, this is the thing.
itself?
You think about the fact that a single koala needs like an entire football field.
Yeah.
And then a numbat needs 1.5. There's no room for any other animals because
No.
the numbats and koalas have taken it all up.
Apparently, males and female can overlap with their areas.
Right.
They don't mind that. It's just like the same sex things. They can't.
They don't like other boys or other girls.
Yeah. So that's
Bloody
fun.
closed-minded numbats.
Yeah. No, bloody.
They're numbats.
They're okay with co-ed.
Yeah, co-ed schooling for all numbats.
not interested in hanging out with each other. Yeah, we've already talked about pretty much everything else. Oh, they breed February and March.
They tend to breed animals.
Yeah, they
February
do.
and March. Oh, so we're at the tail end of breeding was last month.
Yeah. So that's good.
There might be some stragglers still
Yeah.
getting it down.
Maybe, I don't
You know, I love walking through the forests of Western Australia because there's forests there, I'm sure. Here in Numbat's just going at it.
Yeah.
They probably scream like every other Australian animal.
Yeah. They usually produce 1 litter a year, although if the first one's lost, they can do a second one. Gestation lasts 15 days. That's just over 2 weeks.
Did you translate that for our American listeners
Yes.
who only measure in weeks?
Yeah. Also, February and March, I believe, in terms of the time difference between like Sydney and Western Australia, I think it's about a month time difference, isn't it? So
Yeah.
they're probably just in March at the moment.
Yeah, so they're just finishing off at the moment.
Yeah.
You know how I just made that joke to you? It was a joke because everyone was uproariously laughing about the American conversion. One time I said to my American friend that I'd speak to her in a fortnight, and she had no idea what that word meant.
Really?
Yeah, I had to explain the word fortnight to someone, which is the same as the other day when I had to explain to Tran. She doesn't listen to it, it doesn't matter, I can say whatever I want about it. I had to explain to her what a passiona was.
What?
Tran never... So this is a side note from
She
the
grew
Numbat.
up here.
Yeah, exactly. But she grew up with her Vietnamese heritage, which meant that they little known fact about Vietnamese people, they hate passiona.
But it's outlawed in their country.
I sat down. This is a great side story. I sat down at the table for my farewell lunch from work, and if passiona's on the menu, you get a passiona or a pasito.
Obviously, yeah.
And I sat down. She goes, "What's that?" And I was like, "It's a passiona." And she's like, "Yeah, but what's that?" I'm like, "It's a passiona. Like, what's happening?" And then she's like, "I've never had that." I'm like, "Right, but you've had prosciutto." And she's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Well, what the fuck?" And so I gave her some, and you know what her response was?
What?
Oh, so it's soft drink. It's not soft drink.
No.
It's passion fruit flavored soft drink.
Yeah.
It's the best soft drink.
And to be honest, Southeast Asia, like, they're super into their fruit and fruit drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't...
And their Milo.
Yeah. I'm very
Anyway,
surprised.
sorry, that was my-
passion fruit soft drink was not on the menu for those growing up.
That was my side story that I now no longer remember how we got there.
Yeah, and I don't
Fortnight,
remember
that
where
was
we're
how
up
we
to.
got there.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the Numbat is a marsupial.
Yes.
But it doesn't, very unusually, have a pouch.
Oh, well, where do you put your young?
Somewhere else. Yeah,
Not
yeah.
here.
It does. They do still feed. It has 4 teats,
Well,
which
don't we all?
teats is just a nicer way of saying tits. They're protected by a patch of crimped golden hair, and by the swelling of a surrounding abdomen and thighs during what?
This got weird.
Yeah. It's weird that they said crimped. That's where
Yeah.
it got odd.
So picture Christina Aguilera's hair circa genie in a bottle.
Yeah.
And put that on a small
Yeah.
marsupial.
They crimp every day. They wake up an hour. The females wake up an hour
Yeah.
early to crimp their nipple hair.
Can you imagine when Genie in a Bottle came out?
Yeah.
And all the Numbats were like, yes!
Finally, we're being represented.
We're in vogue.
Yeah.
I really want to see a crimped Numbat now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Do you reckon some of them have crimped head hair? And that, oh man,
That'd be sick.
Crimped animal hair I'm all about it.
It's pretty weird.
I should crimp my hair. Anyway,
Young are 2 centimeters long. That's 0.79 inches.
Okay.
And crawl to the teats and remain attached until July or early August. So my understanding is that they latch onto these teats and then they just do not let go.
from March to July.
4 months.
Yeah. Oh, he's hungry. He's a big boy. He's a hungry boy. He loves a good feed.
Which is crazy.
Dear God, that sounds. Can you imagine if women of the human race, like, this is not breastfeeding shaming. This is shaming of having to walk around for 4 months with a child attached to your boob.
Literally
and not
attached to your
moving.
boob for 4 months.
Imagine having triplets.
No, but it pays off for them because they grow 7.5 centimeters or 3 full inches in that time.
God, it must get hard towards the end to walk around with these
Just
huge.
dragging 4 baby numbats just on the ground.
That's why Numbats have no fur on their back because it's all torn off in there.
They first developed their fur at 3 centimeters, which is when they let go. So that they probably developed it a lot earlier. And like you said, it's just rubbing off.
I thought you said they grew 7.5 centimeters.
Oh, maybe. I don't know, mate.
Anyway.
What am I? scientist.
A science doctor of animals?
Yeah. So that's fun. Females are sexually active by the following summer. So,
From when they're born.
but the males don't reach maturity for another year.
Oh, well then what are they just doing?
Bloody
They're twiddling,
typical men.
just sitting around twiddling their crimped hair, waiting.
Yeah, pretty much. So conservation status, the big stuff.
Okay,
What's going on with them?
I don't know. I didn't look
Until
anything
European colonisation, it was actually found across most of the area from New South Wales and Victorian borders, west all across to the Indian Ocean and as far north as the southwest corner of Northern Territory. How confusing is that sentence?
I'm very lost.
Yeah.
But they were everywhere.
A larger area than they are now
Covered.
is what you need to understand.
The world was covered in numbats and termites.
The release of the European red fox in the 19th century wiped out most of the population, or the entire population in Victoria, New South Wales, South Australia and the Northern Territory, and almost all the numbats in Western Australia as well. In the 1970s, in the late 1970s, the population was actually under 1,000 individuals,
Okay.
concentrated in two small areas not very far from Perth. The first record of the species, it's actually, I won't read out because it's actually not that interesting. The guy describes them as quite beautiful.
Yeah.
Which is very true.
He doesn't know if it's a squirrel or a cat or a...
Yeah, he can't figure out what the hell it is. And it's actually the faunal, that's animal, emblem of the state of Western Australia,
Right.
which they did in an effort to try and curb its extinction.
I think, first of all, it's their emblem because all Western Australians are numbats. Oh, thank you. But I think that kind of is counter to helping conserve them because I feel like any gun-wielding hunting man will be like, a numbat. Look, there's an
Hey.
emblem. I'll go have to hunt one of those now.
Maybe. But basically, intensive research and conservation program they started in 1980. They've managed to increase the numbat population substantially, which is fantastic. And they've introduced fox-free areas as well.
You can't get foxtel. So
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
Can't watch The Simpsons. Well, you
No.
can now. They're not with Fox anymore. So.
Yeah.
Oh, are they? I don't know.
And Perth Zoo is very involved in breeding the species in captivity when they release them to the wild. Since 2006, Project Numbat have helped save Numbat from extinction.
Project Numbat is what
Project
it was when I
Numbat.
was growing up. When I was a teenager, I was a part of Project Numbat.
So everyone go and have a look at Project Numbat.
Get your numbats out.
Yeah.
Numbats
Go
out.
and learn about their crimped nipples.
For the comfort. Their
Um,
nipples aren't crimped. Can you imagine if their nipples
the
were
nipples
crimped?
themselves are crimped. That's really the Numbat. That's the lowdown.
That's the numbat. There's-
Basically, you're looking at a banded, weird-looking, pointy-nosed squirrel
yeah,
that eats termites.
it's the missing link fossil of
Yeah.
the thylacine.
It's the missing link between a man and ape.
What?
Man evolved from ape into Numbat
Into
and then
Numbat.
into man.
Because man has to eat 20,000 termites a day.
Yeah, I do.
I would if someone told me I had to. What's that sound? What? We haven't. I'm not. The
You're not
music
putting
hasn't
it in
played
yet?
yet.
I never know what to do.
How do you, Tim?
Yes.
This is episode
Hey.
37.
Yeah.
But we've done.
But there's so
about
much pressure because
60
I've fucked it up so many
We've done like
times.
69 episodes.
Just tell me what you want me to do.
Wait,
Just tell me what
the
you
way
want
it
me to
always
do.
goes is one of us says, "What's that sound?"
Right.
Then the other one says, "I don't know," or
Oh,
what's
I don't
a
know."
strange sound. And then the next person says, usually me, "Is a Harold Holt watch?"
Oh, okay.
And that's the process we go.
Let's
through.
take another run at it.
So we'll edit all this out. And
Yeah.
no. Oh, Tim, what's that sound?
I don't know. What is that sound?
It is the Harold Holt watch. Yeah, so anyway.
Flawless. Flawless.
Fucking give me my Oscar. We have a letter that I'm going to read out. Sorry, I did a fake cough and then I actually got something stuck in my throat. Dear Tim and Leon, my name is Harriet and I am 15 years old. My parents recently forced me to move to New Zealand, which is total shit because all my friends are...
Total shit. Yeah,
This is
no,
the best.
fair call.
which is total shit because all my friends and my boyfriend are still in Australia.
Oh, they didn't come too? That's
Well,
fucked.
it gets worse because my BF and I have been together for 3 months, so it's pretty serious.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I agree, Harriet. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to marry him, whatever his name is. Anyway, the other day I was walking through the Hobbiton set on a tour that my mum wanted to go on.
Right.
And whilst we were looking at the location of Bilbo's house, I noticed something strange about the picture of Gandalf that hangs above Bilbo's bed.
Raises a few questions about why Bilbo has
No, not at all.
has a picture
Not
of
at all.
Gandalf above his bed.
When I looked at it, the eyes seemed to follow me, and underneath the beard, I thought I recognized the face. I got distracted by a text from Zach, my boyfriend,
Ah, that's his
and
name.
when I looked back, the face had changed and looked lifeless. It wasn't until later that I realized the painting looked like Harold Holt. Oh. I think he was hiding in the walls.
He was in the walls.
Yeah.
Wow.
So weird. I agree, Harriet. Thanks for making the best podcast around. All my friends love it too, and we used to listen to it on the back of the bus whilst we Snapchatted. I can't wait to see you dabbing in Japan. Sia, spelled C-Y-A, has.
CYA, that's youth speak, isn't it?
It is. And then she's called herself Has, H-A-Z.
Oh, Has. Thanks, Has.
Thanks, Has.
First thing I got to ask is, what's the roaming charges situation with New Zealand? You texting your boyfriend. Maybe check that out before your parents get your bill.
Well, when kids say texting now, they're Snapchatting.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can type on Snapchat, which is the dumbest thing ever because it disappears.
Does
and then-
Hobbiton have free Wi-Fi?
Probably. Well,
Yeah.
Bilbo's got this poster of Gandalf above his bed, which I for one, after watching the extended Hobbit movies with you the other weekend, that was my favourite scene when Bilbo wakes up in bed and there's a huge portrait of Gandalf above the bed that he kisses every night before he goes to bed.
Sure, why not?
Much like my Britney Spears poster. Well, there you go, Harriet. Yeah, thanks for listening to us on the back of the bus. I'm sure that the old people down the front really enjoyed that.
Yeah, crank it up and make sure our voices sound really grainy.
Pump
and,
up the jam.
Yeah.
And, just dab it out. Hashtag Snapchat.
Follow it up with some rap music because I know that really scares the crap out of old people on the bus. So
Yeah, but rap music to them is like the yodeling kid. That'll freak them out.
yeah, that's true. That'll freak anyone out.
Tim. This brings us to the end of the Numbat and of episode 37
37
in the year of our Lord.
Yep.
I want to jump to our Patreon talk that we usually wait a little bit for. www.patreon.com/Yeagerday. Because our good friend Nick Burjo's catchphrase, Burgess.
Burjo's catchphrase. There's a show I haven't thought about in a while.
We'll talk about that later. Although I feel bad because I think old Burjo's been a bit of a dick lately. So
Yeah, he probably
is
was a
Burjo
dick back
alive?
then.
What's Burjo's first name? He's someone Burgess.
Something.
Mum's yelling at the computer
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. She's going ape. His fucking name is
Burjo. Anyway, Nick Burgess. He, now get this, people. Hold on to your anuses. He
Put your hand right up there and grab a hold.
he donated or pledged $10 a month to us about a month ago.
Yeah.
What a guy.
What a gentleman.
Now, here's what I propose is the timeline that has led to this moment right now. He listened to our, I think, 3 bonus episodes or 2 bonus episodes.
3
and
now, I think.
he
maybe.
went, damn, this is more value for money than I could ever expect. And he, last night, has upped his pledge because he wants to hear the movie commentary that we have.
Oh,
That
goodness.
is the only likely timeline.
Yeah.
Nick, we thank you, we salute you, and look up Burjo from Burjo's catchphrase, and if it's not good, I apologise.
That show was definitely on.
It was an amazing show. I used to watch it all the time. It's like basically like Wheel of Fortune
Kind of.
with shitty cartoons,
It's nothing like Wheel
isn't
of
it?
Fortune.
They guess phrases on Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, I guess so, if you put it in that way.
Yeah, they guessed them on Burjo as well. We'll do an episode on Burjo. But thank you, Nick Burgess. I also want to thank Erin and James from Unabashedly Obsessed.
Ah, yes.
Because now we have pledged money to them on Patreon because we're great guys. And I didn't pay any attention to what the awards were, the rewards were. And so they sent us mail the other day and I had no idea what was going on. So we got a postcard,
Yeah.
but then we also got a drawing from each of their children. They have 2 children each, so we got 4 drawings. I think they've got 2 children each. So they've got 4 drawings.
Yeah.
Um,
And what drawings they were.
These are... Now, we've had Leslie Vamos on here. We've talked to artists like Austin Mengler. We've talked to, these great artists from Comic-Con. And none of them hold a candle to what we got delivered to us in the mail.
No.
We're
absolute
talking
beauty.
cellophane stapled to coloured paper.
Yeah.
We're talking
We're done
stories.
Fuck glue.
Yeah,
everything
staples.
staples.
We're talking...
It's in vogue.
Let alone is there art. There's stories to it. I will bring it down next time and read it to you. But one of them was like, one of the children marrying this other person, but at the same time hurting them. Like, that speaks wonders.
Yeah.
Years beyond them.
And 2 of them referenced each other as babies in their pictures. So it was like this whole crazy parallel universe story
utopia.
that you kind of had to see both pictures to understand the story. Yeah. Those were James's kids, I believe, that did those.
They were, I think mine was maybe one of Aaron's kids that had the story about.
I think so. Yeah.
The hurting them at the same time, and just the richest.
It's gorgeous. Content. I heard that the parallel stories is actually possibly going to be picked up by Netflix.
Yeah.
It's an incredible sci-fi potential there, so I'm interested to see what they do with it.
Well, yeah, look, the writing is so rich in what we've seen.
Oh, yeah,
so it'll be interesting if they change.
It won't hold a candle to the original content.
But, they shouldn't either, because it's probably very flammable. But we actually we were sitting down and we were laughing so hard because it was amazing and it was touching and
completely unexpected as well.
Thank you. Nice. For that. And supposedly, what were you referenced as? The friends whose nighttime it is when it's daytime?
Yeah.
By Aaron's kids?
Yeah.
We are in the Upside Down.
And I told her that she has to tell them that we are upside down, and so we have to wear special shoes. But then she said that might scare them. So
well, yeah, they'll probably be like, get them out, send them up here. So that was great. I think that's all the thank yous I probably have to do, because I can never remember what's going on anymore. As always, I would like to thank Teylor Smirl, T-Smell, Smelly T, Smell, to Hurley Smelly, What a Girly, that's my latest one, for our wonderful cover art.
And Curtis Fernance of the Fern Tree Music. Look him up on Facebook. He gave us the music and the introduction and the outroduction and the Harold Holt music, which I always awkwardly fuck up the introduction to. So if you would like to hear his music without me awkwardly fucking up the introduction into it, you could probably go to his site. Yeah, I mean, I am actually recording an album.
Into every song.
He's putting out an album and every single song is introduced by me awkwardly.
Here's my latest track. It's called, it's a cover of Wonderwall, and at the beginning just, what do I do?
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
We should also mention that, as everyone knows, we gave a very heartfelt Dadvis last week. Kim did cry.
Yeah. No, she didn't cry. She expressly told us that she wasn't crying.
Didn't she?
She actually went out of her way to tell us specifically that she was not
sorry,
crying.
that's right. Yeah, she said she definitely wasn't crying, which it did lead to some questions where we were like, maybe she is crying. But she said explicitly that she was not crying, therefore she wasn't.
I didn't even ask. She just told us.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I don't need to ask all the time.
Why? Yeah,
Thank
we're
you
friends.
For telling,
we don't need a
thanks
question.
for telling us, yeah.
But, side note, Kim makes amazing waffles.
The waffles.
The day after we gave the dad advice, she hadn't heard it yet, so she gave me waffles. I expect next time to be showered with riches, golden syrup.
You want golden syrup showered onto you?
Screw maple syrup. I want the weak shit.
Right. Yeah, golden syrup is a weird thing. We don't need to have this chat.
I want maple flavored syrup.
Yeah.
Right, Tim, you and I need to go and try and not be so tired because we've been very busy this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm back shaping the minds of tomorrow to be the leaders of the future today. Is how they describe teaching.
Yeah.
It's on my plaque.
And I'm back procrastinating and spending way too much time in my head and losing social skills
Tim's
as I attempt to write things. So
Tim's
that's fun.
taking extra toilet breaks to, Snapchat.
Oh yeah, I've been weeing a lot lately, but you don't need to know that.
Do you want to know? Here's a story.
I've started drinking more water, and
It's the tea.
outcome is that the tea.
Tea makes you wee.
Yeah, I make
That's
a lot of tea.
To talk about Tim's bowels for a bit.
Yeah.
It's a nice change. Here's a story, though, a quick little story before we end up. Back in my day, if you went to the toilet at school, because we didn't have plans, and you probably didn't have any credit, but you just went to the toilet, killed some time, and probably, weed on the wall or something.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I've found out that there has been instances where they've had to, set up bathroom sheets at different schools because kids are going to the toilet to watch Netflix.
What?
Because they can.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would too. I need to catch up on Stranger Things.
We've all done it at work, haven't we? So
Watch
no,
Netflix
I get it.
Or spent time on the phone.
All of the above.
I
All of the
haven't
above.
watched Netflix on the toilet.
I haven't watched Netflix, but I do spend an inordinate amount of
yeah.
time just looking at Instagram and stuff.
I do it at the same time every day as well. But people can't question me because I have Crohn's.
Yeah.
So I get away with it. Especially for you
My
meddling
final thought
kids.
is primary school toilets are tiny.
Yeah. You should probably stop going to primary schools because you're not allowed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, it's good. Anyway, yeah, you know where all our social media is. Thanks for all that stuff. Do it. Give us some money on Patreon, or we will stop podcasting. And that's
really.
good. All right, Numbats are us.
Mm.
Yeah, g'day, Tim.
Yeah, g'day, Leon.
Yeah, g'day, everyone.
Yeah, g'day, everyone. Catch you on the flippity flop.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to auscastnetwork.com for details.